This is a general collective reading. It's an odd temperature right now. It's cold outside. The heat's still kicking off, but even though it's cold, it's clammy. Be back in 1 second. Okay. Yes, so welcome to Mystic Moon's Aware and Pure General Collective Messages from Spirit. I do consider these readings to be timeless. If you feel called to them, if you are watching it now, then that's could possibly be a message here for you. Each message, generally I found, runs on a theme. And when I start getting repeated themes, that's when I end aware and beware. If you'd like, if you appreciate my time today, do give me a thumbs up. I am also offering personal readings if anyone has a question they'd like to explore. If you're new to my channel, well, welcome, welcome. If you feel called to, you can subscribe. If not, don't worry. I am also a non-subscribing type. Just sometimes, I don't know, it's not like the type to do it. I get it. I think I'm ready now. Oh, thank you for the like. But yes, if you feel called to, do check out the other videos in the Aware or Beware series. It is a reading that is reoccurring. It is an all signs collective reading. The specifics of what the reading may be about does come out. We'll see. Well, let's go and see what is in this energy. What is it? June. Well, it's a humid, chilly June night, summer night. well, not quite summer if you go by the traditional calendar, still mid-spring. Gemini season. Let's see what we have. Not that I'm doing it for Gemini. Now I have Gemini in the mind. One moment. Had a way of a Gemini. Okay. Now, let's go and start. I want a tarot, so hello, Cindy. I'll only sub if you want to, Cindy. If you feel called to, then sub. If not, no worries. I have even people, Cindy, who come to me regularly for private readings, and they're not subscribed. Well, thank you, Cindy. On my channel, I offer energy work. I do readings on everything from politics, celebrities, and zodiac. I also do Reiki as well, remote Reiki. And I do nature videos and cat videos. A Capricorn. Ooh, interesting. Cindy, if you feel called to, check out some of the Capricorn videos I did last year. I did consider those readings to be specifically timeless. Look at the titles, and if any of the titles interest you. And I did do, I think, a Capricorn reading earlier today, either a secret you should know or something to anticipate. I think I did 2 readings for Capricorn Collective earlier today. And those readings aren't long at all. If you feel called to, they're probably about 3 minutes a piece. Well, thank you. I actually stream. The primary reason why I stream is because where I am, I'm in the mountains. And the internet is so bad where I am that it takes forever to upload a 20-minute, 30-minute, an hour-long video. So it's easier for me just to stream. That way I don't have to go and wait for long upload times, like 5 hours for a 20-minute video to be uploaded. That's primarily the reason why I started streaming. I was like, my internet's lousy. My internet went lousy around, I think, last June or the end of June. And I took a break from my channel, but then I thought, well, I still feel called to do readings. I'm not in Colorado. I'm in the mountains of New York, but I'm in a very rural area. The Wi-Fi is horrible. Like there's practically, there are some cell phone towers, but they're very sporadic. And then the house Wi-Fi is horrible. The internet is horrible. Like the whole thing is horrible. Even fiber optics doesn't make a difference. Oh, in Colorado, mountain country. I love the mountains, as one mountaineer to another. I know Colorado is pretty. I haven't been there, but I'd like to. Any place with mountains, I love to be. There's something very special about living in the woods. No, I'm sorry to hear that, Cindy. sending you healing wishes. Hi, Jordan. Well, the main thing to think about tarot is not so much the cards, because think about it this way, Cindy. So we all can communicate, right? Right now we're all speaking English. We can assume, like, the language that our family spoke, and we heard it growing up. The way we learned to use language, both in our family situation with our friends and also with school, the grammatically correct way of speaking English, how also too we use English, how we speak when we want to be friendly, when we want to be professional, and so forth, right? I mean, it's a tool, the language, a tool of communication. And the main thing to think about tarot and other tools, runes, chicken bones, what have you, right? It could be anything. It could be dirt, it could be smoke. Is think about it in the same way as a language. It's a lexicon. It's like a dictionary. And with runes, tarot, whatever you're using to basically read energy, that's all we're doing. And all reading energy too, you can do that innately. But these are just further tools. They're like aids. Like the way you can walk outside without any shoes, but perhaps you can walk to different places, or it could be even a fashion reasons of why you would put certain shoes on your feet to go off into certain places or do certain things. So you can think about tarot that way. Tarot is nothing more than a lexicon, a dictionary. And of course, there are the standard definitions, but that's really just a springboard for you to go and understand energy. And then, too, you find those traditional meanings, they change somewhat. Actually, I could read energy by itself. I don't need tools, but I like to use them. I feel a lot of energy from all over. I do a lot of who's watching you. And one of the things that I find so irritating is when I go outside, I feel people watching. I turn around and I see them look. I feel things. I feel things intensely. And in fact, the tarot is just a tool to zoom in. I also like words a lot. And as I said, to me, tarot is a lexicon. I like things that have words. I also studied English in college. I work a lot with words. I have also two notable, strong enough Gemini placements. So, I'm a wordsmith. I like it. So it's not like I need it, but I like it. And Cindy, let's see. Oh, it's horrible. That's really odd, Cindy, that happened. Where I am, I'm really hyper vigilant about the cars because they legalized pot not too long ago here in New York, and everybody drives so crazy. I mean, they were crazy, drivers were crazy before, but it feels like now even more so. The people behind those vehicles just are going all over. Very interesting that you can see ghosts. When you see ghosts, how do they appear to you? Do they appear in human form? Do you see a vibration or a shimmer? Do you see light? Well, nice to meet you, Cindy. I hope to see you again. Oh, an angel with a light. Very interesting. Bye, Cindy. I'm sorry to hear that your dad died, Jordan. You know, sometimes some spirits are around you and talk to you when there's a need. Some Pacific spirits may come around you and talk to you when there's a need. Also, too, the language may be off. Like the signs that they're using to communicate with. In fact, there was a reading that I did for an astrological collective this past weekend on Who's Watching You. I forget now which one it was because I do so many. But I think it was a reading I did on Saturday of Who's Watching You. And I felt like who was watching one collective was not, I mean, there were, of course, people watching them, but there was someone who was watching them that wasn't human, but perhaps was once. It felt like a ghost. No, you did hospice care. That's a very rough experience, a very draining experience. It takes a lot of guts. Definitely a lot of guts to do hospice of anything. It's a beautiful thing to do. It's very hard to do. Jordan, if I may ask, tell me your sun sign, and if you know, tell me your moon sign. Oh, I had a friend in college who she told me that for her internships all through high school, she volunteered at the city morgue. And this was down in a major city. I thought, oh, that's different. You know, I would take a look at that, Jordan, especially if you, I mean, again, as I said, the energy really is thick around us. And then, of course, when you are, I think, especially as you said, that you forced yourself to become familiar with it, you have put yourself on the vibration of, should I say, the afterlife, the death realm, the non-life energy, the transformative energy, the energy that also is rebirth. I do feel death very strongly is linked to the energy of rebirth as well. And when you are specifically focusing on something, that energy, you do attract it, that is around you, even if you have no confirmation. As I said, something about the signs and the methods of communication just must be off. But if you went after it intentionally, then that energy is around you. And I would be curious just to think about finding out what your sun sign is, your moon sign is. Not so much for the astrological components of it, but I would take a look at your sun sign, your moon sign, and if you have a signature sign or a signature planet, signature element. Like, for instance, if it's Mercury, and if you have water or air, right? If your signature sign was air, your signature planet, or excuse me, your signature element was air, your main planet was Mercury. Because then I would say that something that you could work through and tap into would be things like words. Words could make things easier. If you had lots of Neptune influences in your chart, if you had lots of moon influences, if you had lots of, you get the idea. But there's certain vibrations that you could go and work with that would be like, for instance, light. Like maybe if you had strong sun in your chart, sunbathe. Crystals, different types of light. Maybe those little Christmas lights when you meditate. Yeah, so that's something that I think that you should try to do. As I said, not so much for the typical astrological, aspects of your chart, but I think to get an idea of what kind of energies that you were born with and born under. And that's why I say look at your sun sign, look at your moon sign, and check out your signature sign, check out your signature element, what kind of element is strongest, or elements, sometimes it's plural, that are in there. And read up on the like the planet or the signs, and then think about for communication, how would you work that? Like, for instance, one of the things that I have very strong is Uranian energy. For me, it's Uranus and Moon. Like those are, depending upon which kind of system you look into, I either have Moon energy or I have Uranus energy. And if one is put above the other, then the second one is right there. So those are the two. And then you could narrow that down on your moon sign, your rising sign. I mean, it's up to you how you want to work with it. But like sound is important, water is important, hydration is important, vibration is important. And you could think about how would those things come through. But it is something that you should definitely go and play into. For me, I don't really like music that much. I actually dislike music. So with sound and vibration, for me, that goes into, I did spend also 2 years ago, I studied for a year sound healing. So gongs, singing bowls, chimes, and things of that nature. And I don't really consider that music, but I got to hear about the vibration and understand the vibration in that. And then you can think about different ways of charging. Like for me, as I said, I have lots of Mercury. I like air. You can also think about things where you just take a simple bowl of water and you can charge it with crystals if you have earth energy underneath of it. It doesn't have to be in. Some crystals, like quartz, you can put in water, and some ones you don't. But you can also think about putting that on top of a radio or a music system and playing a meditative song or a song you really like, popular or not. I mean, there's different ways that you can play around with it. You can write out things, spend time out in the sun writing, in the bath writing. I mean, think about, develop your own methods of practice, of meditation. But the main thing is, I guess I'm trying to say, Jordan, when you've already are surrounding yourself and you have questions about something, you already are acting like a magnet. And that energy, I have no doubt, is around you. It's just now time to go and step back and see different ways in which you can open yourself up. Some people try and do a fast thing of opening themselves up from, like drugs, for instance. They go, oh, I want to connect, so I'm going to take drugs. I'm not a drug fan here. I think by taking the time to step back, meditate, and explore the life that you have around you, the world you have around you, coherently is the way to go. Your sun sign is Sagittarius and your moon is Cancer. One of my friends has that combination, Jordan. Definitely very sensitive, even with the moon sign being in water. Very, very sensitive, hypersensitive, I would say. You said a moment ago, too, in your writing, right, that you were saying you have feelings. Let me see what you said. Yes, you would get feeling, even when you did hospice care, you would get feeling if you saw anything. So right then and there, I'm going to say with your moon sign being Cancer, your primary, let's say, or your primary, your most developed, your strongest, definitely sense, other sixth sense, is going to be feeling. So you don't necessarily have to see anything because you can feel it. But if you do go a little bit more into the rabbit hole, things that you feel for some reason, you'll start to see. Well, hospice definitely is very rough work. And, I've seen things for a while. And unfortunately, I can say with everything that I've seen, I don't really see nice things. So it's also something to go and think about. The more you sort of want to see other things, sometimes they're nice to some people, and sometimes I don't really would consider them nice. And I'm not talking about seeing devils or seeing angels. I'm just saying the things that you see are just not that nice. That's all. They're disturbing. And then sometimes I know some people that see things, and they see things so regularly, they block out a lot. You have more peace, definitely, the less you see. I'm going to say that. Something else to consider. But I can also see with that sun in Sagittarius, moon sign in Cancer, that you can feel things that are happening. Sagittarius is a very active energy. Also, too, interesting thing as well, Jordan, about Sagittarius and Sagittarius and Cancer, is that Sagittarius is exalted in Cancer. So right then and there, too, you have two signs, or the Jupiter that Sagittarius is ruled by is exalted in Cancer. Having Cancer and Jupiter together is a very powerful combination. Cancerian energy expands the already expansive Jupiter. Cancerian energy allows the Jupiter energy of Sagittarius to really be without limits. No perceived limits, no actual limits. So it's also very interesting with that. I would also say, so Sagittarius is, of course, fire. Cancerian is moon, is water. You have moon and Jupiter energy there. Definitely check out your signature sign, though. There's another calculator. You can just type in online, what is my signature sign? And I'll tell you your signature sign, because sometimes you can be entirely different inside. You can be fire, but you can be all earth, which means you'll be definitely a lot more of a practical exuberance. But yeah, check out your signature sign. You can also find out through those calculators your primary planetary energy. But with sun sign, you have Jupiter, you have Cancer. I would definitely say, well, setting the mood is very important to whatever you do if you want to connect outside. So if you like the idea of meditating in a lotus position or cross-legged position, even for 5 or 10 minutes, you can do so. But the main point, I would say, Jordan, is to first of all, the setting is really important. Maybe you meditate best enjoying a wonderful cup of tea. Maybe you meditate best taking a foldable chair outside and enjoying the sunset. There could be different ways in which you personally can meditate. Your signature is Scorpio. So some things to think about. That also explains, I think, the call and the interest in death. With Scorpio, I would think about you know what I would think about? Get a dark bowl. Get a dark bowl or get water and put food dye in it. Get dark blue and red, and you can mix it together, which of course will form purple, or you could just do a very dark blue. But I would go and I would work with the dark colors and just look at the dark colors, meditate with the dark colors. I would also, I think I would, with Scorpio energy, light and shadow would be something I would explore. But definitely go and take a look. Take a look and see what's there. But I would definitely say setting the mood is very important for when you want to give yourself space. And perhaps that could involve an activity or not. And there are things that you can look at that would either set a format that you can follow, but tailor it. Tailor it to you. So I'm going to go and continue on with this reading because I'm curious. Why do we have the Lovers here as our general message with the High Priestess? We are in Gemini season. So it is a little interesting with the arrival of the Lovers. However, High Priestess, Queen of Cups, very strong water, very strong feeling. There's conflict here, conflict of perhaps approach, conflict of action. How one person would approach a situation is not necessarily how the second person would approach that situation. And somebody here, it looks like, has noticed you or is watching you and innately is aware this is a different type of person. They realize they are different from you. Could be fundamentally different from you because it's something that they feel, something innately that they themselves can tell that is washed over their skin. Like one person has goosebumps and another one doesn't. One person gets clammy and the other one stays frosty. There are differences here like that. But anyway, we have lovers here. And with those lovers, I'm going to draw a moon card. I have light. Well, first of all, someone definitely has noticed you. Someone definitely has noticed you. Someone has been contemplating you. Could be this person has been around you all this time and you just haven't noticed for whatever reason. I'd also say, though, as well, with High Priestess and Queen of Cups energy right here, there is a radiation about you, not, should we call it an aura? I don't really see it so much as an aura. Like a field generating is more how I feel it. How is that different from an aura? Well, an aura is something that we naturally have inside of us. A field that we generate is something that we are consciously projecting, perhaps unconsciously, but my point is with High Priestess and Cups, you are projecting light. You are being noticeable like a beacon, like a lighthouse. Also, too, I'm going to say High Priestess, Queen of Cups, very unbothered. Unbothered as you go about your business, as you go about your day in the groups that you're in. You're not really putting on a show or being scripted in any sort of way. There's no point in it. You're going around a very light energy, very unbothered energy. Anyway, you've caught the eye of someone. I'm also going to say, too, before I pull any more, not only have you caught the eye of someone, but as you've been going about in this unbothered energy, minding your own business here, Queen of Cups, High Priestess, you've been attracting attention from more than one person. One person has the significant energy more than the others. For some reason, they can't come forward just like that. They can't come forward just like that because you don't know this person. You don't know this person, and you don't give avenues for strangers to come up to you in a significant or a close manner. Signs I have here, I have Taurus, I have Leo, I have Cancer, I have Pisces, I have Gemini. Ah. So with the lovers, we'll find out more about the lovers. I'm actually going to move this over, so I don't need it right now. So with the lovers, I have a rooster. Somebody could be born in the year of the rooster. Someone could just be very tenacious about their space with rooster. You know, roosters are definitely defensive. They maintain perimeters. Roosters, I'm not really going to say it's innovative energy, although with it, Gemini is innovation. Rooster is definitely, once they have a perimeter, once they have a prerogative, once they have a directive, they really drill down into it hard. A hard worker. Maybe a little too obsessive with that work. I have rat. So I'm starting to get placement words here. With rat, think also to the year of the rat. Someone could be born in the year of the rooster, born in the year of the rat. These could also be This could also relate to the years of the rooster, years of the rat. Take a look online and see when the last year of the rooster occurred, when the last year of the rat occurred, if you don't know anybody personally around you born in the year of the rat. Think also to rat-like qualities, and I don't mean necessarily the negative ones. I mean, you could take the negative ones. If I was saying the negative ones about the rooster, rooster has a sharp tongue, rooster is critical, rooster is shrill, rooster is constant movement, constant words, constant criticisms. If they're unhappy, they will nitpick and poke and bite and drive you nuts with their words. Be like, what an annoying personality. And that person will have a very sharp tongue. They attack with words. The qualities of the rat, of course, they're the negative qualities of the rat. I don't need to go into that. We all know what a rat is when we apply it as an adjective to someone. But anyway, year of the rat, qualities of the rat, good qualities of the rat. A rat is sociable. Everybody likes a rat. A rat makes themselves amenable to people. Rats can generate affinity with people. Maybe they don't quite believe it, but they project the sort of aura that draws people to them. They are collectivist type of energies. They work best in a group. They can be alone, but when they're in a group, people gravitate towards them. Also, too, they gravitate towards them because they're so smart, so capable. They learn things very easily. They're not stupid. They're not stupid, and they're not haughty about the knowledge and the abilities they have. Oh, really? So, well, I'm just pulling on the messages that come through. But anyway, these are definitely the qualities of a rat. If someone isn't exactly in the year of the rat, then they have the qualities of the rat or the qualities of the rooster. Anyway, we have rooster and rat here. Let's see what else we have. I have happiness. Okay, so I have a love connections here. I have good vibrations here. Could also be just you being around the community. You are spreading light and happiness. Could be. Could be the type of people who are going to get you the most. Oh, another appearance of another zodiac. I have dog. So, of course, look up the year of the dog. Look up the last year of the dog. Somebody could be born in the year of the dog. Things in here could be relevant to what has been happening in those in that year. I have no idea, unfortunately, when the last year of the rooster was, last year of the rat, last year of the dog. Right now, I know that we're in the year of the snake. Last year was the year of the dragon. Year before that was the year of the rabbit. But anyway, I have a third person here, a third energy, a third placement. These are like hooks, character hooks. So, dog. Of course, we all know the negative connotations of the dog. I don't need to go into that. But also to the positive connotations of a dog. Well, first of all, a dog isn't exactly hardworking, not like the rooster and not exactly like the rat, but a dog can be definitely put to work. A dog's innate quality, though, they like to hang out. They like to relax. They like to enjoy life. They like to take a step back and breathe. Rooster definitely will not take a step back and breathe. You'll have to sit down on that rooster and force them to. Rat is also constantly, if rat isn't actively moving about, rat's mind is moving about. Dog is a much more chilled energy. Oh, really? Oh, really, Jordan? So, yes, that's the year of the dog-like qualities. Dogs, they know how to sit back and enjoy life. They go and definitely they get business done, but they understand that business doesn't have to be 24/7, doesn't have to be everything you live and breathe and eat and drink. A rooster will have that. A rat won't openly make that known, but a rat is always working internally or externally. A dog is a different type, much more chilled, much more enjoying how things go. So let's see what else I have. So I have 3 placement cards. Normally I don't have that many up there. Normally too I stop at 4, but when I get placements, I call them like character hooks, I pull a bit more. So I have Earth. So Earth does have, is Saturn energy, first of all. Earth here I have both, I work with, I have some Vedic words in here. I have some Chinese words in here. Then, of course, we have the zodiac. So with Earth energies, you can take Earth signs or Earth type of placements. It could be Earth Venuses or Earth 7 houses. It could also be dealing with the directions of southernly, like southern or southwestern energies. The color yellow. They said energies that are Saturn based. Definitely, if we were talking about seasons, Earth would be summer energy. Anyway, we have another placement here. Let's see. But it's also foundation, I'm going to say. Could just be the messages that you are on very good foundation, on a very good foundation. And I have truth. I'm going to say for some of you going about your daily routine and your schedule, you have little blessings. You have little blessings here. And for those of you, I think that just naturally in the area that you're in, and as you go about things, you are spreading much joy. I don't think you're aware of how much your energy is affecting and radiating out towards the community as a whole. You're like those air fresheners that they hang up in the car, the little Christmas trees, but tons better. You're like a little prism that you can hang up, and the prism has not only is pretty, but it smells nice. Oh, really? Butterball. So that's message number 1. I think the main message for some people, as I said, those signs, we have Gemini, we have Pisces, we have Cancer, we have Leo, we have Taurus. I have some Sagittarius here with 8 of Wands. All of this energy could be your sun, your moon, your rising. I do think with Earth, it could be definitely Earth around your water houses areas, but it could also be understanding that where you are right now is actually really, really, I don't know, you are a blessing in this sort of how you are living out your life. Where you're living out your life, who you're living your life out with is a blessing. I have lots of people here with rooster, rat, and dog, and also that 5 of Wands. Well, Butterball, if you'd like me to give you a reading on any message from Spirit on that, I could. I would ask for a donation of $25 though. Otherwise, I invite you to go and look at my nature videos that I have in my shorts or my cat videos. They're cute. They could distract you. You know what? I think I am going to pull just two more cards on tarot here, because I just have light, happiness, and truth. I definitely am getting that. A reminder of things to be grateful for, the time and place to be grateful for, the people that you have around you to be grateful for. And I do think you yourself factor into a lot of people's happiness, even when you're not aware of it. Light, happiness, and truth. But also, too, where you are, where you live, where you work, where you breathe, where you live out your life. Blessed ground. But then again, think about it too. Anywhere you are, you should be striving to make it blessed ground. I have Hermit with Virgo energy, and I have Ace of Wands. Interesting. I'm going to say that when you are confident, there's nothing to really stop you from searching whatever questions you have here. You should go and seek. They always say the whole thing about the truth, whether or not you can handle the truth. Can you handle the reality of all that is? And I'm going to say, with light, happiness, and that other energy that I have here, you can accept the happiness of truth. You can accept reality. You are emotionally stable to accept reality, to go and pursue that, to expand what you already know. I think I'm going to end this message here, and we'll get a new one. I have action, though, essentially coming up for you. There is a big change coming with Devil, Four of Cups. What is it that you've been ruminating about? What is it that you've been thinking about? What is it that you've been feeling? An action needed to be taken. There's an action that needs to be taken, an action you feel called to. There's a big change coming your way. But that change is not going to be at all unexpected, because it's something that you've been itching and feeling pulled in a certain direction. And perhaps maybe you could think, well, that feels a little foolish for me to want to go there. How will I make it work? Can I afford to do it? I really want to do it. How can I do this intelligently? Especially with Hermit and Ace of Wands. I do see that when you have a firm foundation, even if that foundation is crumbling apart, it still is firm in the fact that change is in the air. And what I have here is change in the air. You have a firm foundation, and that firm foundation is going to give you the courage to move in a direction that you really want to go into. Maybe it might seem a little foolish. Also, too, with Capricorn under the Devil energy there, maybe it could be doing an entirely different thing than what you're doing right now, and that could affect your physical security. Anyway, something that you've been thinking about in the back of your head. something you've been wanting to do, but it sounds foolish on paper to do. That opportunity is coming towards you closer and closer. And I do think the people or the environment around you is going to support you in that, because you've already shown so much support. You've already put out so much energy of support that it's going to come back and greet you in like energy. For quitting smoking. In fact, it's funny, I just got this incense, which were little cones, and I really am just on the subject of smoke, trying to see. There's this incense that I really, really like. It's like beeswax and charcoal. I know it's not quite smoke, but similar. Of course, now I can't open it. There's something in there, but I can't open it. Anyway, I have, I think, one more out here. Let's see. No, I guess I used the ones that were out. Probably because this was supposed to go on top of it before that. Oh well, something to be figured out at a later date. We'll go on to the next message. Let's see what else we have here. Especially as we're coming into Monday, middle of the month. Also, too, this is going to be the first full week that we have Cancer or Jupiter in Cancer. Things are supposed to get easier. Well, do I say easier? Things are supposed to arrive with luck now. Luck in your home, luck in your family. The next phase of your life, luck in authority. Your authority. Perfect time to get that job, perfect time to build family. I feel like the cat is meowing. Kwee-Kwee-chan? I have kitties. And typically they meow. They're not meowing right now. Oh, my little kitty, though, she's meowing. 1 second, she's waking up. I have to go and say hi. Ciao, Queen. Hi, little Ciao, Queen. Ciao, Queen. It's my little Cherokee. Oh, she's so cute. Hi. Hi, you woke up. She says, I woke up. And she woke up. Every time she wakes up, she makes a little call, and we have to go and say, hi, little Cherokee. And she says, meow, meow. She says, I am little Cherokee. Did I take my saying hellos very seriously? By the way, the channel is named after her. Mystic Moons is from Mystic Cherokee. So I named my channel after my cat. Yes. This is my channel, my little Kwee-Chan channel. Yes. 1 second, we have to go and just scratch the little kitty. She's a good girl. Yes. Yes, this little girl. Little girl. I wouldn't call her a pretty cat, but she's a very cute cat. Everything about her is cute. I have one kitty who is very gorgeous. A Siamese. She's the epitome of beauty. And this one is just cute. Her personality is cute. Her looks are cute. Against the other cat, I wouldn't call her a beauty, but she's so cute. So cute. Everything about her. Cute, 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 cute. Personality's cute. Mannerisms are cute. Face is cute. Body is cute. And my gorgeous female Siamese, she goes back and forth between the sweetest cat you ever know to boss. She's boss. He's boss with an iron paw, iron glove. Step out of line, you'll be disciplined. Sounds good, Jordan. Anyway, let's go and get on to the next message. But I just want to say hi to my little Kwee-Chan. Okay, let's get another message. No, that's horrible. Really? I'm sorry that you went through that, Jordan. But what really an amazing deep connection that your parents shared. Well, Jordan, definitely go and explore your own feelings. If you have any questions, I'm here. I do invite you as well. You could check out some of the collective readings because, as I was telling Cindy, some of the readings that I get, especially the general ones that aren't about love per se, but the open-ended ones, who's watching you, something you should anticipate. I get literally everything from paranormal to work to love to spiritual messages. I get a whole bunch of things. And definitely, dial back and think about different ways of understanding the world that we're in. But with all those connections that you have between the family who you love, your parents, the family that you have around you, your babies, and your husband, you have quite an energetic network as well of love around you. And when you are supported, you can jump off into other areas you wouldn't normally feel competent or inclined to do so. You have a greater range. With greater love. All right, another message. Let's see. Especially as we're coming on to Monday and a new week. Not that these are weekly messages, but I'm just curious what it's developing. Well, grace is developing. Gracefully working your way in and out of situations. No matter what has happened, what is happening, how your plans change, doesn't mean that you stop being you, doesn't mean that you stop being the innate qualities that are you, which is, well, I feel like saying decorum, competency, skill, presence. No one can ever take away your presence. No one can ever diminish your presence. Do I have a glow up here? A magnification of presence? I don't know. I is definitely on the greater prize, which has been eluding to some, or elusive to some extent. But I do have the end of a situation. That end of a situation, in truth, happened a little while ago. Maybe it happened last year. Maybe it happened 2 years ago. Definitely is gone now, has been gone for a while, at least 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Anyway, there's been some icky, not the best phase that has been put to rest, and that has actually been away for a while. Maybe there's been little traces and residues, but essentially something has been very gone, very over, and perhaps as you've been moving away from it so naturally, so carefree, you haven't really noticed the fact that the finality, that you're in a new phase. You're in a new phase, you're off doing your thing. And yet, you are greater now. You've learned some things. With 9 of Pentacles. That 9 of Pentacles is accompanied by Foolish. Peace. Accepted the past as what it is and looking towards the future. Looks like I have my cards. Do I have my cards different ways? Or is it all this way? It is all this way. So I have Foolish and I have Peace. Let's see. I have Summer. I have state school. Somebody could be an educator. Someone could have been educated at a state school. Someone could be, well, attending a school of the state. It could be a summer school, summer classes. Maybe you're thinking about returning to school. I have emotional. I'm surprised. definitely is an upscaling with summer and state school here. And I say it was thoughtful, emotional, and surprise. Something relating to education or an educator. It's going to affect you. It's almost like it's going to disturb your foolish peace. But also, too, foolish peace is accepting the, it's accepting, oh, did I already fold it back? I think I did. With that Ten of Swords energy, it's accepting the things that didn't work out for what they are. Now you've understood that you've moved on past it, and that what matters right now is now, today, tomorrow. Let's see. Oh, hello, Sagar. Well, Sagar, if you'd like a reading, it's $25. Buy Me a Coffee works in India. As soon as you make your donation through Buy Me a Coffee, let me know. And I can find out for you about your future wife. So, foolish and peace. Let's find out more about that with a Nine of Pentacles. And what this surprise is actually. Actually, I'm going to do two just about in general, two Nine of Pentacles. And I'm going to do one moon card on surprise. Surprise, I have an Ivy League, also education. You are attracting attention. And there's some envy in it, especially under Nine of Pentacles. Envy of it, and I think too with state school, summer, thoughtful, and then this Ivy and state school dynamic. Something about education, something about class levels, and someone is almost, well, chastising you for what you've earned, the gifts you've earned, the accomplishments you've earned. But we have Ivy League and surprise. I'm going to put one more on surprise. Let's see. Surprise, I have Seven of Wands, Four of Cups. I'm going to say the surprise is actually you. You're the surprise. I need a tissue. I'll be back in 1 second. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to say the surprise is actually you. Jen. Yeah. I hear you. I have these little slips of paper. Little slips of paper. That I like them because they kind of move around, but they do move around a whole lot. I find them on the floor here and there. Quiet Chi-Chi. Goes, oh, I protest. I protest. So first of all, I'm going to say that somebody's surprised that you are so competent. They would not expect it. Quiet. Quiet. Shh. Chi-Chi. I may have to bring my little Chi-Chi here. Chi-Chi. Anyway, yes, I'm surprised that you are so competent. I'm going to go and clarify this surprise some more. I have local, and I have enemy. Someone definitely sees you as a threat. They know they should not, but they kind of do. Sneaky. Well, I feel like all this just sets up the environment, but there's no message yet. What's the message about this? This Nine of Pentacles. I have Temperance, which is Sagittarius energy. Kwee-Kwee-Chan. I have Strength. And I have Death. Somebody is reformulating their opinion about you. Could be somebody who is building up, well, slowly, incrementally, they are liking you. Slowly, incrementally, they are wanting you. Slowly, incrementally, they are impressed by you. I actually think my cat did something in the bathroom. I'm going to check that out. Okay. So yes, there is temperance, strength, stress, temperance, strength, and death. Let's go and see. Temperance. Chi gets fragile bonds. Strength gets casual. And death gets bad. Death gets pig. Death gets healthy. And that temperance gets gold spoon. Temperance gets light. This message is similar to the one that we pulled first. But this is talking about almost like the prequel or the setting for that. Education plays a part in this. Someone is, or people are educated in a specific way with state school and Ivy League. There's a deliberate type of education going on here, a deliberate type of teaching, a deliberate method of learning. So therefore, learning methods apply here. Also educators. Of course, I do think with education is a lifelong thing, not necessarily something that you pick up. Some people learn best in a group setting because it's the way they can. Well, some people need routine, right? Some people need structure. Also, too, some people learn best in a group setting, not because it's a thing for them to do. First of all, a social scene. It also makes them feel more accomplished than if they do it alone. But I do have education here. I do have educators here. I do have educated people here. I have different levels and ways of measuring what is educated and what is not, or what is high education and what is mundane education. Those type of factors play into it. Like maybe the difference between somebody who goes and to school to do makeup and the people who go to school to learn physics. Which allow me to say I have met somebody who dropped out of an Ivy League school specifically to go and spend 3 years studying nothing but the art of applying makeup. What do they call that? A cosmologist or something? Cosmetology. And then she came back. Her parents made her come back to go and finish her degree at the said Ivy League school. And every day that girl looked fabulous. Every day the way she applied her makeup was just lovely. So there are different types of education, and you can find them at all stages. Just like the people, too, that go to school purely to cook. Come on, Chi-Chi. Don't be a little troll. He says, but I am a little troll. If you want a Siamese, this is what you listen to all the time, even at 4 a.m. in the morning. Quiet. I'm going to move him closer. Quiet. I'm not going to let you out. I smell there. Really cheap. No, sometimes I have kitties and they do kitty things. Anyway, I can't remember the last time I slept through the night. Anyway, yes, back to the point that I had. I mean, people can take types of education, can learn all sorts of ways, and also too, there are people who have backgrounds very, very varied. That same girl that had the Ivy League degree and the degree in makeup, I asked her, what did she want to do? Kwee Chan? I asked her, what did she want to do? And she told me that her was she wanted to be a stylist for entertainment groups, for musical groups. Specifically, she had her eye on boy bands or cute girl bands. She wanted to produce the image for attractive people. I thought that was rather awesome. Unexpected and very awesome. Anyway, just goes to show education is such a personal path. Be back in a second. Okay, let's see what else. I have nasty. A nasty history. And I have rumors. Nasty history and rumors. Someone very two-faced here. In fact, I actually want to put this here as my background. Let's see, that's better. Nasty history and rumors. I'm curious, what is that nasty specifically? Hurt. The end. And magic. Someone's changing their history around. All the nasty stuff they are reinventing. History. History, I have vegan. One night. And meat eater. Under history, this is like dichotomy plus. But also two very different situations, very different people, very different ways of operating. And for one night, these two different ways of operating, two different people of operating, became aware of each other. Now we already know that it was the end and it was hurtful. What was that magic? I actually am curious about that magic. If you ask me, in that energy, that person was already promised, already had someone else to begin with. That's what the nasty part of it was. Someone was chosen and someone was not. I'll be back in 1 second. That's what I have here with nasty. Somebody most likely was already involved with someone else. And they stayed with that someone else. They approached with false pretenses. Let me see. Back in 1 second. All right. I don't know why I'm getting this message of something that feels very much like past person energy. Also, too, with engagement here, and clearly it was when I clarified. Well, what did I clarify? I clarified something. Was it the end? There was something in here that clarified it. Anyway, I got engagement. And with that energy together with history and one night, I mean, a very brief period of time, two opposites met. Somebody was already involved with someone else. This is all very pasty energy. And I don't do past person energy, even though that's the message that I have. I also don't do past energies. Is setting these scenes, setting the environment. that it's pedantic. Let's see. So rumors. I have new age, couch potato, again dichotomies. My ego is too big to care. Quite. So somebody here, the message that this applies to, have you been dealing with someone or have you dealt with someone who's entirely, oh, not that one, rather. Have you been dealing with someone who's entirely different from you? Because what I have here are entire opposites. If you're light, they're dark. If you are hot, they are cold. If you are dedicated, they are frivolous. If you are serious, they are lighthearted. And somebody here was attached and still made themselves known to another. And someone went on with their life that they already had with someone else, and someone else got hurt pretty badly. That's the environment that we have set up. And I have please. Key. Well, somebody is paying attention to your social media. Maybe they're blocked out. They are blocked from you with key. They're furiously around you. Like some burrowing little animal digging its way through the dirt. I turned on the fan with my elbow. I don't like cold air. Even cool air, I don't like. Not even in the summer, I don't like cold air. So, I'm a little tired. So there's actually somebody who's furiously there, busying themselves around you. You're not off their radar, even though they haven't been in contact with you for eons, they still are around your radar. Still are following up on you, still paying attention to you. Watching how you get on by. So we had a Seven of Pentacles. I didn't mean to fold back that Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Swords. I wonder what that please is, so. Please is pushy. some reason, this is the energy trying to get your attention. I want to get your attention, but it's weird energy here. It's not like they want to get your energy necessarily for anything constructive. It's like they want you to be aware of what's going on in their life as well. I'm watching you. Surely you will be watching me. Come and watch me. Come and see what I'm doing, what I've been up to. Come and see the gains that I've made. Come and see who I occupy myself with. It's very solitary energy here with the nines, the hermit, and the fool. Actually, I do think all this energy is rather nasty. I'm seeing somebody who is committed to someone, has been committed to someone long term, but they would like to entice someone to appeal to them. It's almost like they're inviting an affair type of energy. They don't intend to commit, don't intend to separate, but they want someone very different to pay attention to them. What creepy energy. I'm going to end this message here. We'll go on to another one. Essentially, what I have here are two very different people. One of those people was already in a relationship, quite involved relationship at that. They could very well be married to that person right now with that Empress energy in there. Maybe they were married to that person before, or that person was one step away from marriage. Person was already sitting in Empress energy. Person already had someone sitting in Empress energy. And they got involved with someone else, portraying themselves as something they were not, which most likely in this case was single, trying to see what they could go and get for the thrill of it all. And that person is following up on you. That person is still around your energy, not dealing with you, but is around your energy. That person would like to entice you to see what they're doing, to see how they're living their life. Half of it is showing off, half of it is also like this person still devaluing you, and wanting you to accept second-class treatment as the side piece. Icky energy, sick energy. We'll get another message. Unless, of course, if anyone has any questions, you can let me know. Let's see. So another message from Spirit. I feel like I'm getting a whole hodgepodge of things. Red thread. No respect. I didn't notice I had these cards slipped out. But this was the card I was going to pull. Emotional security. Well, definitely trampling over another's feelings is one message that's right here. And be loved by the spirits. Red thread, emotional security, be loved by the spirits. Well, first of all, I'm going to say I feel like this is a message for all of the people out there that are single. You are being filtered. You are being filtered out from situations that don't serve you. Maybe too, with no respect and emotional security, the way that you are being filtered out could be a little harsh. Maybe the other way in which you see or you hear or you know of how other people have relationships with you, you could have them much more abruptly, much more harshly. They're handled just in a different way, I would say, with beloved by spirits and no respect. Anything that doesn't serve you, anything that's not meant for you, anything that's not your vibration, I think is cut off. And I think is cut off very securely with red thread. Anything that you're not meant to deal with. You know, the thing about energy is not exactly fuzzy. It's not exactly fuzzy energy. And I do think that Spirit has been cutting off a lot of unnecessary things from you rather harshly. And I'd also say, too, anything that you're dealing with that you're not meant to deal with, I think on a visceral level, it probably just inspires lots of ick. Like, ugh, I don't like that type of energy. I'm not really going to clarify any one of these. I'm going to take this as a message of 4. I do think Spirit has been cutting situations and people out that don't serve you really, really strongly. I have decision. all this feminine energy here with Queen of Pentacles, also that Empress energy, and now we have Queen of Wands. Of course, this is still open-ended for me. A Queen of Wands is a energy that is naturally opinionated. Also, to not one to go and be hesitant. Someone who does know what she wants, how she wants it, has been anticipating it too. So, for that matter, it's like this is someone who's anticipating a romantic start, but it's so hard to get started. It's so hard to find someone who wants to commit.
This is WNHD, and we thank you for making us part of your day. WNHD is your classical music radio station. WNHD FM, your classical.
So with Queen of Wands, I am going to throw one more on this Ace of Swords, Queen of Wands. I have someone just moving. Moving on.
88.7 WRHD FM Poughkeepsie, on HD Radio, WNHD HD1, and streaming online, WNHD.org, your classical companion.
Moving on in a series of mini upheavals, mini earthquakes, land changes, land shifts, emotional shifts.
It's one of Franz Schubert's most beautiful sonatas, and it's written for a rather strange instrument by one of his friends. The arpeggione, the kind of cross between the guitar and the cello. Schubert's lovely arpeggione sonata in A minor of 1824 in a famous recording here. The cellist Rostropovich recorded with Benjamin Britten on the piano in 1961.
I see an opportunity coming in love, but such drawn out energy. Also to Ace of Swords with Queen of Wands, expecting, constantly expecting, very like edge of your seat type of energy. Here was Six of Swords rather. The type of person you've been waiting has been so long to arrive. So long to have an opportunity when you meet someone and you feel secure in that. This is a repeated message. Someone who you can open up with and feel confident in opening it up to romantically. So I don't know how good this looks or how bad it looks, but I have sexist meeting vampire new person. Why do I have vampire here? And that's a question. I don't know why I have vampire here. You know, vampire could also refer to someone who appears like what they're not. Could be somebody here who appears more innocent than they really are, softer than they really are, more fragile than they really are, younger than they really are. You know, it's an old soul that doesn't appear as knowledgeable as they truly are. That's the thing. So that vampire may not necessarily be a bad word, but I will say with vampire, what this person, or perhaps both of you, what you perceive is not really what is. Also, too, nobody's an idiot. I'm going to say that too. Very smart people, very sharp people, very aware people. But with that vampire, I'm curious about vampire. Meantime, a runner. Months. All those timing cards. Weeks. Baby. Holding on. See, I am curious with that. What is that, baby? Ace of Wands, death. It's a birth. It's a birth that's coming soon. To a King of Swords and a Queen of Pentacles. Someone who's decided to commit, someone who's already in warm energy of commitment also too, with these Eight of Wands both arriving here. I have a baby coming. That is a literal kid. Gee, and all this court cards underneath of that. Keeper of Swords is Queen of Swords, King of Wands. And I have couples. Also, too, I have a natural counterpart here with King and Queen of Swords. These people innately get each other. And so the queen is in commitment and the man is ready to dedicate themselves to the connection. Oops. I think I was going to pull from the top of this. That vampire energy is something that's going to hydrate your world. I am going to say there's a bit of risk there. A risk with that person. Risk with a person who's acting in vampire energy. And I am going to say it almost feels like on one level, somebody who you dealt with is working their way towards you, literally a runner who is working their way towards you. They ran away. Feels on one level they're running back, but it could just be someone in general who's moving at a very fast pace. And time has been going by, but look at that. The time is shortening. Meantime turns into months, turns into weeks, turns into holding on, and then we have baby. Things are quickening. And ultimately, we have new person. This person has been building energetically up to come to you. It's not about knowing this person or not. It's that you're being set up to meet a vampire. To meet someone who you can consider a dangerous individual. Maybe they would consider you a dangerous individual. And this card wants to come out too. All these cards, permanent. Let's see. Well, I have manipulation here. with weak, played you plot. Shouldn't be that hard to go and see, or it's that hard to go and tell what the plot is. Something good is going to turn out from something, a situation not that great. I have a relationship coming your way. Essentially, I can go on with this, but for some of you, some of the single yous, you haven't been able to have a relationship, feels like at all, or of any substance, or even maybe even any friendship. And I do think the energies around you have sliced off unworthy people. There's something coming your way, someone who's going to be not what they appear. They're going to appear a lot more naive, a lot more bubbly than they actually are. Not saying that it's a front, I just think that this person goes around in very light, open, happy energy. But in reality, they're very sharp. Not very sharp, they're very aware. They're aware of a lot. They've been through a lot. With everything that they've seen and probably everything they've been, they could be much darker, but they choose not to be. They could also appear younger than they are, significantly. And with new person, well, essentially, I have somebody who's going to be working their way to meeting you. I do have also a kid coming up here soon. Let's see a little bit more clarification. You take sexist as just gender roles. It's the same person, though. Vampire, a new person. And they're a vampire and cheat. They're definitely going to portray themselves as something that they're not. They can try and undermine themselves and or inflate themselves, one or the other. They either want you to take them more seriously or will want you to take them less seriously. Is this person I wonder what cheater and two-timer together though is. This person, when they arrive, they could not be as single as they say they are. But they're going to want to project themselves as that to you. Anyway, you have something to go and watch out for. There's a meeting coming up with someone, and that person, I'm not really getting great energy from them. I am getting this as someone who you could have a child with. Not already have a child with, you could have, like, create one with. I do think this connection would be permanent. Of course, a kid would make the connection permanent. Person is going to project themselves as something that they're not. I don't know, that's Stacy energy. I'll do one more. And then I'll just leave it open in case anybody wants a reading. Let's see. I have a romantic, maybe a bit gothic in their ideas of how to live life, what they want to do. When I say gothic, well, I mean kind of in love. Not dark, but as in heavy. maybe I'm going to do the tinctures. Give me a second before I go on to the next one. I do feel the message has been all over the board today. All right. Shall I continue with this Knight of Pentacles? Well, I do have a love reading, but I'm going to go on to another message before that or after this. Essentially, what I'm seeing is somebody who has their eye on someone. They have their eye on someone, and they actually have, I don't know, with Six of Swords energy here under Judgment, under a Knight of Pentacles. Part of this energy could be this person seen you around and they've warmed up to the idea of you. I definitely have here running into you, or each time they see you, each time they deal with you, each time they hear of you, their interest grows. I do have, because of Knight of Pentacles and Judgment, it's very stop-go energy. One is like a thunderbolt, a lightning bolt, and the other one is watching grass grow. I think you're dealing with those different types of timing, and also, too, those different types of elements. One accumulates, one is an anvil that's been dropped down. And so therefore, the Six of Swords has a lot of fluidity in whether this is a situation that grows over time or whether this is just out on a chance encounter. I'm not going to call this love at first sight, but I'm definitely going to call this interest at first sight, capturing the attention, capturing the interest. And also in this energy, each time that person sees you, their interest grows. Each time that person hears of you, their interest grows. However, now this person is not quite sure what to do about the connection. So they're interested, they are fascinated, they are highly, highly fascinated. Highly fascinated. Highly fascinated. They don't know what to do about the connection. They don't know what they want from the connection. They don't know how to approach the situation. So they watch from a distance, playing it very, very safe. Playing it safe because they themselves don't know what it is that they want. It's like they don't even know that they want you. They're drawn to you, though. Definitely drawn to you. The said person to approach. And King of Wands clarified by the Hierophant. This is not someone approaching frivolously. When they do decide to take action, that action is not going to be done with anything temporary in mind. That person is going to approach with commitment in their energy. Interesting. They're going to approach with commitment in their energy. They also, I'd say, with that Two of Swords, understand that it's going to be a departure. Their life path will take a different turn. Almost feels like they think they have to sacrifice something, and it's worth it. They understand that their life path is going to go in an entirely different direction. In this energy, this person is going to give up things for you. Maybe they'll even sacrifice their own wants and needs and desires for you. I think I will pull one more card to accompany all those other ones. Something about this connection is a little off. This person feels guilty for what they want. Also feels like what they want is wrong. It's not conventional, but it's what they want. And if they can have it, they'll get it. I have a love reading here. It has aspects of forbidden love. By someone who will make a commitment towards the other.
Live. WNHD is your classical companion. Keeping classical music alive with your pledge. These are the stations of WNHD Classical Network. 89.1 WNHD FM Schenectady, 88.7 WRHD FM Poughkeepsie, on HD Radio WNHD HD1, and streaming online WNHD.org, your classical companion.
So I guess I'll close it down, just leave it up.